We came to Thailand for sort of a little vacation and visit with David and Annie. But David's turned into a real estate agent trying to sell us this condo.
What a bizarre, unexpected collaboration. David and Annie are trying to lure Jenny and Sumit to move to Thailand. But given how resistant Sumit was to moving to the States, given that they've only just got Sumit's parents' blessing for their marriage, are they really prepared to uproot their lives and move to Thailand?
We're so used to India. My roots have settled down there. That's home. India has become home to me.
Which is fine and all, Jenny, but the problem is, Sumit quite likes it in Thailand. It really feels like he wants to move. Now, before we unpack the latest development in the Jenny and Sumit saga, let's just start at the beginning. So, the last we saw these guys, Jenny had finally gained acceptance from Sumit's mother. Now, one might assume that after such a big issue was finally resolved, Jenny and Sumit might now be able to settle into domestic bliss in India.
I don't have much word to explain how I feel, but I would say that getting a support family, getting a love of family back, it's one of the biggest win of my life.
Now, as we know, Sumit was always very close with his family, so the fact that he was ostracised and cut off for so long really had a huge toll on him. So much so that he and Jenny were even debating moving to America for a fresh start. But, for now at least, it seems like America is firmly out of the equation, because as it turns out, there's a new country under consideration.
Recently, they reached out to us to come join them in Thailand. Hi, David. Hi, Annie.
Hey, guys. If you guys have a chance, you ought to come over while we're here.
Now, bizarrely, Jenny explains that while she and Sumit aren't even all that close to David and Annie, apparently David and Annie have recently started reaching out to them, inviting the pair to come to Thailand. But why? Why, if they're not even friends, are David and Annie so keen to have them visit? Well, it turns out there might be some ulterior motives here. You see, David seems really keen to palm off an investment property onto them.
We have a condo that, either for rent, for sale, that even just to look at, kind of give you a feel of what the expat life is there.
Yeah, that would be exciting.
Now, this is all a bit bizarre. There's this strange feeling that all of a sudden David has become a really pushy real estate agent or something. And wisely, Jenny definitely doesn't want to be pushed or pressured into buying a condo in a foreign country. But Sumit seems to find the idea a lot more exciting. This new adventure, this sense of exploration, might just highlight the difference in both age and life experience between the two. You see, at 65, Jenny already has a lot of life experience. Heck, she's already moved to another country. So what she seems to want more than anything right now is more of a quiet life. But the same can't be said for Sumit. He's still young. He still has so much of the world left to see.
I never traveled outside India, but now it looks like that my life is very peaceful and happy now. Now it's a time for me to just live happy and explore other countries too.
So Jenny and Sumit are treating this like a holiday, a vacation rather than an investment opportunity. The problem is, David doesn't seem to have got that memo, but we'll come back to that shortly. For now, it is all very gracious of David and Annie to let Jenny and Sumit stay at their condo. And when you think about it, actually, it does make sense as to why these two couples might grow to form a close friendship.
Yeah, they're very similar with our story as well. Jenny older, she from America. Smith is about my age.
We all love to eat.
Yes, we all do love to eat.
Annie and David greet Jenny and Sumit at the airport, and everyone looks genuinely excited to see each other. Now, they may have only just arrived in Thailand, but there's no time for resting because David has an action-packed itinerary in store for them today. He wants to waste no time at all in showing them the very best that Thailand has to offer. After all, he says, it's close to the beach, it's inexpensive, and
There's food. You can go out 24 hours a day.
That's enough.
Great place.
Jenny not gonna go 24 hours a day. Okay, 2 hours a day she's ready to take a nap.
That's brutal, but it might be true. Now, while all those attributes might excite Sumit, Jenny, on the other hand, seems a lot more hesitant. But enter David the salesman. He's made it his personal mission for the next few days to convince them to not only move to Thailand, but buy his condo.
We have 2 condos in Thailand, and right now we are selling our 1-bedroom condo, and I think it'd be a perfect fit for Jenny and Sumit.
I really can't wait to see how David's gonna justify a small 1-bedroom condo as being the perfect fit for Jenny and Sumit, who live currently in a much larger apartment. But, as any good salesman knows, before he can get the sale, he needs to warm the pair up a bit first. So off David takes them to go and try some street food, and Thai food seems to blow Sumit's mind.
I tried whatever I never tried before. My first duck, my first crab, and I would say Thai food, one of the best food in the world.
Now, having never left India before, he's on vacation, he's trying new things, and it's absolutely no surprise that Sumit is enamoured by the lifestyle being shown to him. I think that's exactly what David was hoping for. But David isn't done yet. You see, he tops off the afternoon with a trip to the local floating market.
Oh, that's a buffalo over there.
Where?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
That's a white buffalo.
That's what you get, David?
2 of them.
We don't see this in India. No, not at all.
Jenny and Sumit must be feeling kind of drunk at this point. I mean, their heads must be spinning. This is all so different from their lives in India. They've been flung literally straight from the aeroplane to the buzzing food scene and the cultural centres of Thailand. And as they now finally enter the condo that's modern and stylish, but it is smaller than they were expecting, it's now that David launches into a sales pitch on the very exhausted pair.
There's opportunity in this area, whether you want to stay retired, whether you want to dabble in business. What I want you to do is stay for a few days, see how it feels.
David wants to sell the condo, and he wants to sell it now. Now, while Jenny's older and maybe a little wiser about making big decisions, you can definitely see that Sumit is getting caught up in all of this excitement. He's seriously swallowing everything that David's saying, hook, line and sinker. He's imagining this great new exciting life that he could have in Thailand. But in doing so, he's forgetting everything that he's worked so hard to build in India.
David is making some good points.
Yeah, but this is, you know what this sounds like to me? It sounds like the classic timeshare pitch. You're really laying it on thick.
Hold on a minute, Sumit. What about your business? The business that you were so proud to show everyone in the last episode. I mean, you've only just made up with your parents. Are you really considering moving away now? After all his resistance about moving away from India because he didn't want to be away from his parents, his resistance to move to America even though Jenny really wanted it, it's interesting to see how Sumit is now absolutely ready to move to Thailand. And after Annie and David leave for the night, Jenny and Sumit finally get the chance to talk in private.
This is something which you can say that this is something which I ever dream about.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, even from outside, like the pool.
It seems like these two have had a Freaky Friday moment. It seems like they've swapped roles. Whereas Jenny was the one that was previously desperate to leave India for America, now it's Jenny who seems desperate to remain in India. It's Sumit that's getting all of these big ideas about not only leaving, but buying this condo.
I don't think that anything is better than this because it's near to India, affordable, not very expensive. This is something which we would love to live. We would love to buy.
That really makes me think that the only reason Sumit was previously so tied to India was because of a desperate attempt to try and win his parents' approval. But now that he has the approval, now he seems ready to move on with his life. He seems ready to do all the things that he hasn't yet had the chance to. But that being the case, will this cause problems in his relationship with Jenny? And more to the point, given their respective ages, how long will Jenny be willing or able to keep up with Sumit's newfound sense of adventure?
I know Sumit is really excited about this opportunity, but I don't know. I'm not really sold yet.
It is a lot smaller than what we're living in now.
I know that.
Now, they plan to just enjoy the next 3 days to see if they can actually see a life together in Thailand. But is 3 days on vacation really an accurate representation of what their lives would be like? Like, what are they gonna do for work? Well, all their questions are put on pause, because when we join them the next morning, David and Annie have yet another exciting day in paradise planned ahead. They're taking them to drink coconuts and get a fish massage.
A lot. Just like, oh my God.
It's like small, shocking.
Like something that's going like this. Yeah.
So what do you guys think of Patya so far?
Oh, well.
Jenny tells David that it's great, they're having a lot of fun. He, in turn, asks them immediately if they can see themselves living here. But that's a complicated issue for the pair. Jenny diplomatically tells David that it's something she and Sumit might need to take back with them to India to think about further. She doesn't want to be rushed into a decision.
That's why I'm saying, we need to go back to India and talk about this. Like, how will it impact my relationship with your parents? I've already been working so hard.
Sumit's parents are definitely one factor in their decision, but it does feel like Jenny's hesitant to make another big change in her life so soon after finally marrying Sumit, which is fair enough. Now, while Jenny doesn't outright say no to the idea, she does make it abundantly clear where she sees her future.
We're so used to India. My roots have settled down there. That's home. India has become home to me.
Regardless of the reasons, this isn't the kind of decision you can just make on the spot. But for whatever reason, David seems to want more from them. He's not yet done with his pitching. He can sense that maybe asking for a sale might be a bit too much from these two right now. So instead, he changes tactic and tries to lower the stakes.
Look, you're my friends. I'd rather have somebody in there. Even the option of renting it. That way down the road, if you decide you want to buy it, fine. If not, I don't want to leave it empty.
We came to Thailand for sort of a little vacation and visit with David and Annie. David's turned into a real estate agent trying to sell us this condo.
Poor Jenny just wants to enjoy her vacation, but she knows that David isn't about to let go easily. So she suggests that maybe next time she and Sumit will come for longer, maybe 3 months or so. That way, she says, they'll be able to get a real feel for Thailand before making such a major decision. It's a wise suggestion, one that will actually allow them to get a real feel for what Thailand is like. And remarkably, finally, it seems to leave David satisfied.
You know what? Forget business. Let's just kind of explore a little bit.
Yeah.
Have some fun and just enjoy.
Sounds good. Okay.
The most surprising thing about this episode isn't David's attempts to hard sell, but rather the fact that Jenny and Sumit aren't totally writing Thailand off. They're actually going to seriously weigh up their options. They're going to consider whether or not this could be for them. Now, that seems like it's more because of Sumit than Jenny, but it does raise a very interesting question. After all these years, given their age gap, are these two still on the same page about what they see for their future?